Yo, what's good, man? This is MBS, the Stardom Sitem show, man. And obviously, normally it's Mr. Sports Junkie True X that's be hosting the show with me. Obviously, he will not be available today. And happy birthday to his daughter. So a shout out to X. But I had to get me a replacement that can match it with that energy, man. And it's hard to replace True, but I thought of one guy to replace him. And I'm just gonna let him bring him on right now and introduce himself.
I'm back. It's your boy, Mr. Franchise, aka that dude.com, aka the greatest sports analyst to ever bless the sports wave. Hashtag UFC, hashtag greatness, hashtag I'm a bad man. Bad man on the mic. Let's go. Welcome to the Starting Sim Show. I'm about to bless y'all. Look, for all you fantasy football fans out there, I'm about to give y'all some great analysis. I'm about to give y'all some great picks, so pay attention. I'm coming. Let's go.
So just to give you a brief history, Jay franchise is started the MBS Stardom Cinema show with True X. So I'm glad to see him back on, man. So it's good. So all right. So what we're gonna do first? I'm pretty sure Mr. Franchise know how we do things. We start off with the top five positions. You don't name the elite players, and I'll start it off first, and the franchise will go after me. So, starting at the top five quarterbacks to start for this week, obviously, I am not going to mention Patrick Mahomes because he is elite. I'm not going to put Aaron Rodgers on there. So, with that being said, starting at number five for me, I'm rolling with Jared Goff today at number five, man. Past two games against Seattle, against Tampa, 678 yards, three touchdowns. He did have two interceptions. He had 29 fantasy points against Tampa Bay. I think he will continue this with what injured, disabled San Francisco defense. So I got that number five. Number four, man. First time he's number four. I can't believe I'm putting on number four. I like the matchup I see. I'm rolling with Daniel Jones at number four. Daniel Jones, he's has scored at least 20 fantasy points, three out of his past four games against a great matchup against Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. Number three, I know Jay franchise on the NBA show, his counterpart likes Justin Herbert as the rookie of the year. I got him at number three. Justin Herbert at number three. Justin Herbert, he's putting up some huge numbers since he's been the starter. So I got at number three. Coming at number two, Jay franchise, you ain't gonna like this one. I'm rolling with Cam Newton at number two, man. Cam Newton, I expect him to have a solid game. I think he could put up 22 to 27 fantasy points today against the Arizona's defense. So I got him at number two. And coming in at number one, I am rolling with, man, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm rolling with Taysom Hill at number one, man. I like what I saw last week when did against the Atlanta Falcons, going against the Broncos again. He was going to Michael Thomas on a very high volume. The dude could run the ball also. And I got Taysom Hill at number one. And those are my top five quarterbacks to start for today.
Is this the Starting Sitem Show? Are we on the Starting Sitem Show? This cannot be the Starting Sitem Show. You just said Taysom Hill at number one? Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be fun. All right. So at number 5 on Monday night, I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. Seattle's defense has been surrendering a lot of passing yards. I think this is a great time for Carson to get himself back on track against a very poor Seattle defense. At number four, I'm going to go with Kyle Allen versus the San Diego Chargers. Kyle Allen has been balling. I think he's going to put up more than 20 points. If you got Stephon Diggs, please start him. I'll get back to him in a second. I also feel like the Chargers haven't done a great job in pass coverage. They've been able to stop the run fairly well, but not doing well as far as like stopping the pass. So I gotta go with Kyle Allen at number 4. At number 3, I'm gonna go with Derek Carr versus Atlanta. Derek Carr is going to air the ball out today. If you got Derek Carr in your fantasy football team, start him ASAP. Wake up, Keo. Hey, this is greatness right here. Hey, at number two, I got to go with Kirk Cousins versus Carolina. I like what Kirk Cousins has been doing the past couple of weeks. He's been spreading the ball to Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson is going to have a huge day today without Adam Thielen, but that's a whole nother topic. I feel like Kirk Cousins can really air the ball out again versus a not so great Carolina defense. And at number 1, and this is going to shock some folks too, since Keo wants to go with Cam Newton versus Arizona, I'm going to go a different direction. And I'm going to go with Kyler Murray versus the Patriots. I think Kyler Murray is going to ball out. He going to ball out, players. He going to air the ball out. DeAndre Hopkins is about to have a big game. Christian Kirk is going to have a big game. I'm calling it right now. If you got Kyler Murray's putting up 30 points on your fantasy football team. You hear it first from the franchise. Let's go. Go ahead, Keo. Let's get to them running backs.
All right, let's go to the running backs. Coming in at number 5 for me for today. Um, Number 5 for me for today. I'm going with just to let you know, um, there will be no Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley won't be playing today. Jonathan Taylor won't be playing today. As far as the elite players go, guys like Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, those are elite. So you're gonna start those guys regardless. But coming at number 5 for me, I'm going with Zach Moss at number 5. Zach Moss has scored 3 touchdowns in the past 3 games, and he should continue to be the better running back in Buffalo over Devin Singletary. So I like him at number 5. Number number 4 for me. Um, he's been out for a while, but he returns back. Chris Carson, man. If And that's huge for Seattle. They been abandoning the running game quite a lot since they haven't had a decent running back throughout the season. So I like Chris Carson coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 for me. I mentioned Daniel Jones, but number 3 for me, I'm going with the running back Wayne Gallman. The Bengals have allowed a running back to score or gain 100 total yards in 4 of their past 5 games, and Gallman is going into week 12 scoring a touchdown in 4 games in a row. So I like what I see from this guy. Number 2, I'm going with Mike Davis. No Christian McCaffrey once again going against the Minnesota defense. I'm gonna like what I see from him. He's been consistent. He's been doing a good job, a good decent job since McCaffrey's been out. So I got him at number 2. I'm rolling at number 1 for me since his return. He's been putting up major numbers. I know it's only been 2 games, but I'm rolling with Nick Chubb as a number one running back to start for today.
Wow. So I feel like our lists are fairly similar. Um, I will say, all right, I'm gonna start off at number 5. I'm gonna go with Miles Gaskin versus the Jets today. The Jets front seven not really that good. Miles Gaskin has been leading the Miami Dolphins in rushing. I think they're going to run the football quite a bit without Tua today. At number 4, I like Zach Moss this week versus the Chargers. Again, I'm not high on the Chargers run defense. I'm not very high. I think they're going to run the football quite a bit from Buffalo's standpoint. At number 3, I like the guy by the name of Chris Carson on Monday night. I think he's going to run crazy on Monday night. I think that Seattle's going to settle down, get back to what they love to do best, which is run the football. But I think they're going to have him on a slight um, carry count. But if you're trying to find a guy that could get some goal line carries, definitely want to go with Chris Carson. At number 3, I am going to go with Nick Chubb versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is just terrible. If you got either Nick Chubb, if you got Nick Chubb in your lineup, please start him. I mean, he is dynamite. In addition to that, if you got Kareem Hunt, please start him as well. I mean, I think they might, between the two of them, they may rush for over 250 yards today versus Jacksonville. And finally, my number 1, gotta go Wayne Gallman. I think Wayne Gallman is going to rush. I'll say it, 125, 2 TDs. Cincinnati is really not good at stopping the run. I mean, they pretty much done the whole fire sale, and I think Cincinnati's on a full tank mode. So I will go with Wayne Gallman at number 1.
Cincinnati on tank mode once again. Oh my god. All
Hey,
right.
man. I mean, that's what happens when you lose your top guy, man.
Okay. All right. So starting at number 5 for me for today, I'm rolling with Michael Pittman Jr. at number 5. He scored 34 fantasy points in his past 2 games, including um his outing against Tennessee. He had 7 catches for 101 yards on 8 targets. That's huge numbers. I like Michael Pittman at number 5 for me. Number 4, I'm rolling with Devontae Parker at number 4, going against the Jets. Are you kidding me? I like this one, man. Devontae Parker at number 4. Number 3, I'm rolling with DJ Moore against Minnesota, man. DJ Moore has been DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. They probably, I think, their wide receiving core is probably one of the most underrated. They don't get the attention that they deserve compared to the rest of the wide receiving cores out there. And DJ Moore continues to put up, solid numbers, man. So I like DJ Moore at number 3. Number 2, we all know Tampa Bay got all those weapons there. I think the game against Kansas City will be a shootout. Um, and Tom Brady, he happens to do well after bouncing back from a loss. And the guy that I expect to show up is Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is my number 2 wide receiver to start in fantasy for today. And coming in number 1, this is a no-brainer for me. It's a slam dunk for me. I'm talking about Justin Jefferson at number 1. No Adam Thielen there. Kirk Cousins is gonna look to go the Jefferson throughout this whole game. I know Dalvin Cook is going to be heavily involved. One thing about Minnesota is when they establish a running game, that opens up the passing game, and I see huge numbers for Justin Jefferson for today. I see at least 20 or more in today's game against Carolina. And those are my top 5 wide receivers to start.
All right. So if you have Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, that's my number 5 and number 4, respectively. Startem versus the 49ers. The 49ers are just downright terrible. Jared Goff is on fire right now. The play action pass is going to be rocking and rolling. I can see the deep ball. I can see Cooper Kupp getting off early and often. This might be one of his bigger games, period. All right. At number 3, I'm going to go with the guy that's opposite, right, in Green Bay, that is opposite of Mr. Adams. And I'm going to go with MVS, Marquise Valdez Gatton, at number 3. The deep ball will be raining. If Aaron Rodgers gets the time, he's going to air it out. Scallon's a speedster. I can see some major touchdowns. Don't be surprised if Adams gets off as well. But watch this game Sunday night. MVS could go off big time. If you got him in your fantasy, definitely put him in at the flex. I wouldn't start him wide receiver 1 or 2. He's definitely a great flex play. At number 2, I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson versus Carolina. Of course, Carolina's not really great when it comes to their secondary, and without Adam Thielen, I think he's going to get at least 7 to 10 catches today, possibly a touchdown in the red zone. We'll see. And my number 1, guys, this is going to shock some people, because Julio Jones is out today. I'm going with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's a dog, certified dog. And I've got to go with him because I feel like Matt Ryan will target him quite a bit, especially in the middle of the field. Remember, Las Vegas likes to play a lot of zone. They don't really cover that well man-to-man, so they'll play a lot of zone. Look for Calvin Ridley to have a very, very big game. Keel, go ahead with the tight ends.
All right. Starting at number 5 for me for tight ends, it's going to be Austin Hooper against Jacksonville. The Browns, man, the Browns are a very underrated team, man. They're what are they? 7-3, 6-4.
Yes.
A very quiet team, man. When there's no attention, no diva act drama behind the Browns flying under the radar, man. So I got Austin Hooper with Baker Mayfield, no Odell at number 5 for me. Number 4, I'm gonna roll with Tyler Higbee. I know you mentioned the weapons with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. I see at least 10 to 11 points for somebody like Tyler Higbee. I know that's not much, but when it comes to tight ends, it's a dime a dozen. Coming in number 3 for me. Number 3, I'm rolling with Gronkowski, man. The Chiefs, they had a problem with the Raiders tight end in week 11, and Darren Waller had 7 catches, 88 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 targets. Even Jason Witten had seen some action also. I think Brady is gonna look to go after Gronkowski in this game. Got him at number 3. Number 2, I'm rolling with Hunter Henry from the Chargers, man. Hunter Henry against Buffalo. I think he's a good tight end to start right now. I expect 12 to 14 points from him. And that number 1, first time I ranked him number 1 this season. I'm going with Evan Ingram, man. Ingram, he had a down game against the Eagles. 2 catches for 15 yards on 3 targets. But I look Daniel Jones to go after him once again. I know the weapons ain't enticing. They got Sterling Shepard over there, but I expect Jones to go after Ingram in this game, especially against a defense like Cincinnati. And those are my top 5 tight ends to start for today.
Okay, very interesting that you bring some of these guys up. So at number 5, I'm going to go with Gerald Everett from the Rams. I think he's the second tight end. I think that there's going to be a lot of attention on Tyler Higbee, which is going to open up the field for Gerald Everett to get off. I can see him getting a couple of red zone looks. Don't be surprised if he gets about let's just say 45 yards in the TD. Most important, you got to get the red zone TDs. Got to get them, and I think Gerald Everett got. At number 4, I'm going to go with Austin Hooper versus Jacksonville. All right, Kia already said it. I think there's some rapport over there in Cleveland between him and Baker. I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup versus a very terrible Jacksonville defense. At number 3, I'm going to go with Kyle Rudolph today.
Wow. Good
I'm gonna
one.
go. I'm gonna go with Kyle Rudolph today versus Carolina. Without Adam Thielen, and you got a rookie wide receiver, and you got a guy that you have a little bit more rapport with, I would definitely see Kyle Rudolph and and um and Kirk Cousins really connecting on a lot of pass catches. If you're in a PPR league, please start Kyle Rudolph. Okay. Coming in at number 2, I'm going to go with Jared Cook from New Orleans. I actually think today might be that day that Jared Cook goes off against a not so great and very confused Denver Broncos defense. And I'm kind of shocked and surprised that they didn't postpone this game because of the whole COVID news coming out of Denver. But because they're not, I got to go with Jared Cook. I think he's going to have a monster game, um, especially for a guy, like Taysom Hill, who's going to, and again, his first start looked very well. I think he's going to have to pass the ball a little bit more this week because they may take away the RPO, the run pass option. All right. And at number 1, I got to go with Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is going to ball out today. And Danny Dimes, all you got to do is just be patient. It's going to open up. Just wait the extra split second and just tell your offensive line to protect you. And you will get off today. Evan Ingram should have a monster game. 100 yards, 2 TDs, easily. Got to go with Evan Ingram. Let's go.
All right. Defense. I'm not gonna spend that much time on defense, but coming at number 5 for defense, I am gonna go with I'm gonna go with Buffalo against the Buffalo's defense against the Chargers. I like that matchup. Buffalo decent over the Chargers at number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna roll with the Packers, man. The Packers defense and this ain't no joke. This is not April Fools. Mitchell Trubisky will be starting today for the injured Nick Foles, and that's why I have the Packers defense. Number 3, I got the Seattle Seahawks against Philadelphia. You mentioned Carson Wentz in your top 5, but check this out. Carson Wentz has been sacked at least 3 times in 8 games in a row. 32 sacks over that span. Has a turnover in all but 1 game this season. 14 interceptions on the year. And the Eagles have scored 17 points in each of the past 2 games against the Giants and Browns. Okay, now coming in at number 2 for me, I like the Giants over Cincinnati, man. Brandon Allen gets his first start. So best of luck to him. And I got the Giants defense. Number 1, I got the New Orleans Saints defense once again, man. This is the second week in a row where I actually have the New Orleans Saints defense, man. New Orleans Saints Broncos did a good job against the Dolphins defense in week 11 with no sacks, just 1 interception from Drew Lock. However, Denver has allowed 10 sacks in the previous 5 games. But guess what? Who the hell is the quarterback, man? I have no idea who the quarterback is. Ripken, Drew Lock. It doesn't matter who the hell the quarterback is. The
Actually,
Saints.
it might be Jared Judy. I'm getting rumors that it's Jared Judy that may start.
Oh man, if it's Jerry Judy, I'm gonna love it because I got Jerry Judy in my starting lineup right now. Well, that's my top five defense.
All right. So at number 5, I'm going to go with the Packers. I think they should get a real good solid pass rush on Sunday night. I mean, we all know Mitchell Trubisky is turnover prone, but just on the side of caution. Definitely, look at the Packers defense. Could be a very good game where they could get over the 10 point max. Okay, at number 4, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I personally think Myles Garrett is going to go off, and this is where the secondary of the of the Cleveland Browns could really take flight. At number 3, I'm going to go with the LA Rams. I like the Rams today against San Francisco. San Francisco's offense is just terrible. They can't really run the football that well. This might be one of those games where you see the Rams like truly tee off on San Fran. At number 2, man, this was a toss-up. Um, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 2. No Lamar
Wow.
Jackson, no Mark Ingram. Majority of their team is is out due to the COVID protocols. I'm sorry, it's about to be tee off session in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might blow these dudes out real bad, and that Pittsburgh defense is looking lights out serious. And at number 1, hey man, if you got New Orleans, normally hasn't been known for having a great defense, but man, if you got their defense, I'm going to just put this out there. I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans has over 20 fantasy football points. Their front seven's playing amazing. Trey Hendricks leads the team in sacks, followed by Cam Jordan. That secondary is looking really good. I just don't see Denver even putting up more than 10 points today. It's going to be all bad for Denver. I got New Orleans at number 1. Please start. Go ahead, Keo.
Oh man. All right. Okay. The kickers. Let's go to the kickers, man. The last one. All right. So number 5 for me, I'm gonna go with Steven Gostowski against Indianapolis. Number 4, I'm rolling with Mason Crosby against Chicago. Going to number 3, I'm going with Joe Sly against Minnesota. Number 2, I'm going with Tyler Bass against the Chargers. And at number 1, I got Rodrigo Blankenship going at number 1. Scored 10 points at Tennessee in week 10 with 2 field goals, 4 PATs. He had a great, impressive showing against the Packers in week 11. So ha, ha, that's my top 5 for kickers.
So your list was like literally just like mine, with the exception of number 1. And he's pretty much automatic. Um, Guys, start Will Lutz. Just start Will Lutz. I mean, bottom line, the first 4 was spot on. We pretty much had the first 4, but number 1, hey man, start Will Lutz. I mean, that's in a discussion. I mean, Will Lutz is going to get you about 12 to 15 points today, guaranteed. All right. So, Keo, who's your top waiver wire pickup for the week?
My top waiver wire pickup for the week. Man, I can't believe I'm saying this. I am so proud to say this. He had an all right game. It was a great sighting to see him play after a long layoff. But my top waiver wire pickup, I'm rolling with Dez Bryant, man.
What's
Yo,
wrong with this
man.
dude?
Yo, man. That's Bryant. 4 receptions, 38 yards on 5 targets last week. We're talking about waiver wire pickup. So, and I it's funny you mentioned Lamar Jackson. Don't be disrespectful to RG3, the guy that's in line to be the starter. This could be I'm pretty sure John Harbaugh has a great game plan for RG3, and I think they're gonna be they're do all right. As a matter of fact, I actually have the Ravens winning without Lamar Jackson against the Steelers, man. So that's my top waiver wire pickup. Des Bryant. Another guy, notable mention is Brian Hill because Todd Gurley will not be playing today, like I mentioned earlier. So those are my top waiver wire pickups.
So my top waiver wire pickup for today, I'm gonna go with Henry Ruggs the third out of Las Vegas. Atlanta has had a tough time covering the deep ball. I could truly see, um, Henry Ruggs really going off, and he should be available in most leagues. In addition to that, I'm also looking at Minnesota, and I'm saying, why not go after either Irv Smith if he's available for you, or you hear it first, Bisbee Johnson. Both two guys that can really put up some numbers today out in Minnesota, um, especially without Adam Thielen playing today. But those are my top waiver wire pickups for this week.
Okay. All right. This next segment that we're gonna do that True has been doing is called Who to Stay the Hell Away From.
Whoo!
So okay, so I'll go first. The player you should stay the hell away from, Mitchell Trubisky, man. Stay the hell away from him, man. I don't care who the receiver is. I don't care if you have if Allen Robinson is on that team. Mitchell Trubisky is an accident waiting to happen. They need to get rid of him. It was a horrible draft pick, and stay the hell away from Mitchell Trubisky. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm. So today, I'm going to tell you guys to stay away from Cam Newton, any San Francisco 49er player, any Denver player, and lastly, stay away from RG3. Do not start that fool. If you start RG3 today, it could be trouble. It could be real life trouble. And you probably lose. Guaranteed. Okay? Let's go.
All right. All right. So let's go to our next portion. One of my favorite portions. It's the Stardom Sitem portion of the show. So I'm gonna name 5 players, and Jay Franchise is gonna tell me if he's gonna sit or start them. And then when I'm done, Jay Franchise is gonna name 5 players, and I'm gonna tell you guys if you should start or sit them. All right. So I'll go first. So I'm gonna start off with um I'm gonna start off with the first. I'm just gonna start off with the first guy up right now, and the first guy up that I have for today. Should you start? Should you start or sit Mike Williams?
That's a toss up because Tre'Davious White's going to be covering him a lot. I'm going to say sit him. I'm
Okay.
going to say sit him. I say sit him.
All
That's a
right.
tough one.
All right. Next one up. Coming at number 4 for me. Should you start or sit Leonard Fournette?
I would say I would sit him. I would sit him. I don't think he's going to be effective today. I think that today is going to be a very pass-friendly type day. I don't see Leonard Fournette getting off today. If anything, he might have like 5 carries, 30 yards at best.
Wow. Okay. Next guy up. Should you start or sit Philip Rivers?
He has been looking okay. He's coming off an injury. I'm gonna say sit him. I'm not high. Divisional game is the Titans. They're playing very well. I say sit him.
All right. Now I'm gonna go back to wide receiver now. I'm gonna go back to wide receiver, and the wide receiver that I have for today. Should you start or sit T. Higgins?
I feel like he's the number 1 receiver in Cincinnati. Giants defense isn't that bad. Damn, that's a tough one. I'm gonna start him, but start him with caution. I start him with caution. If you got somebody else out there, please, 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 please start him over T. Higgins, because without Joe Burrow, it could be trouble.
All right. Now my last guy that I'm going with. I'm gonna go after for a quarterback, and the quarterback that I have for today is should you start or sit, and it comes from the same game. Ryan Tannehill.
Tough one, but I'll sit him. I don't think this is a game where you start either quarterback if you got him. I think this is going to be run the football heavy. I'm not high on either QB. They're both QBs are going to play it safe. I can see the running game being very, very big. So I wouldn't even touch either QB at all.
All right, those are my 5 to start or sit.
Okay, so let me give you my 5 start or sits. So, do you start or sit Darius Slayton?
I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna start him, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna start Slayton. I like the Giants offense for today just based off the matchup, so I'm gonna say start him.
Okay. Do you start or sit Jared Cook?
Jared Cook. I'm gonna say start him also, man. I think Jared Cook, he's a under radar potential top 5 fantasy player as far as tight end goes. So I'm gonna say start him.
Okay. Do you start or sit Preston Williams?
I'm gonna say sit him, man. Preston Williams a little inconsistent. I like Devontae Parker more. I like Jakeem Grant more. So I'm gonna say sit him.
Okay, very interesting. Do you start or sit Christian Kirk?
Well, this is where I take your advice. I'm gonna start him, man. Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins. I see I see the Arizona's offense playing really well in this game. So I'm gonna say start Christian Kirk. Because Gilmore, he's gonna be on Hopkins. So I like Christian Kirk to get the ball more than a couple times.
Okay. Final one. Do you start or sit Cole Beasley?
I'm gonna say start him, man. I think Cole Beasley is a viable option. He was huge in their win. um, Josh Allen went to him throughout that whole drive in their final drive in their clutch win. So I'm gonna say start Cole Beasley.
Okay. Sounds good. That's my
All
5.
All right. So what we normally do, and I totally forgot about, we're gonna go to some social media questions really quick, and we're gonna get them answer. You're gonna have you answer them really quick. So, all right, the first question is from our MBS compadre Ray Boudreaux, Mr. DJ Gravity, and he's asking PPR flex pick one. Nelson Aguilar, Brian Hill, or Justin Gage?
I like Brian Hill today. I like Brian Hill today. I like Brian Hill today. I think for the type of offense that's going to be ran in Atlanta, I think Brian Hill could be a viable option. I like Justin Gage too, without Julio. However, I like Brian Hill mainly because he's going to be able to run the football quite a bit, and they like to throw the football quite a bit to running backs.
Okay. Oh man, I can't believe this question. This is from Aaron Pham. Um, he said, if there's a wide receiver out there I could pick up, who would it be? Or else, who would I start between these two guys? And he basically has two wide receivers on the same team, but you gotta start one of them, and it's either Tim Patrick or Jerry Judy.
Jared Judy.
But I thought you said don't start anybody from Denver.
If I had to choose either one, I'd have to choose Jared Judy
Okay.
because he's going to start at QB. They're not taking away the QB. That he's gonna throw it a little bit. I mean, he's also going to run it. There's going to be some RPO action with them. So yeah, I think it's Jared Judy.
All right. Okay, and the very last question is um J.R. Moore, and they ask so with the ineligibility with as far as Taysom Hill goes being ineligible for tight end, as a league manager, what would you do? Would you have them remove Taysom Hill right away from your league's lineup, or would you have them play for one more week?
So this actually happened in one of my leagues that I'm in. I call it the Big Money League, and I actually had Taysom Hill starting at tight end last week, and and it was very hard for me, but I started Taysom Hill at tight end, and he went off, and I actually won by like damn near 30 points. And the guy that I beat was a little disgusted, but it was oh well. I don't think they should take it off because if Drew Brees comes back, then you're gonna have to put the tight end. You're gonna have to put it right back on. So I say keep it because once Drew Brees comes back in about what 2-3 more weeks, right around the playoffs, he's gonna be a viable option at tight end. So I say keep it because Taysom is a viable option, especially flex guys.
So I just want to let everybody know, those of you that are fantasy football league managers right now, you guys have the option to remove it. But once that whoever has Taysom Hill on the team, once he removes him out of tight end, you could no longer put him back at that tight end spot. So
Which I
that's
think
a
is crazy.
so
I
it's
just
a
say just leave him.
yeah, so it's a dicey situation. I know in the MBS league, we did have a voting on it, and it is actually being removed in a lot of leagues. I know it's actually being removed. Also, it's
The
just a
salty people, look, listen, check this out, man. If you're a fantasy football head and you've been doing this as long as I've been doing it and won championship after championship after championship like I have, hey man, it won't even bother you. It's just one player. Okay? Like you shouldn't allow one player to ruin, make or break your team or make or break anybody's league. Bottom line, if you're that good, you'll find another diamond in the rough. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest questions that's going on in fantasy football today. So I just wanted to, I'm glad somebody was able to ask a question about that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to our final segment. This is actually True's favorite part of the show. It is the studs and duds of the week. We'll be posting on social media later today. So let's start off with our duds of the week. I'm gonna give True's dud of the week for today. His dud of the week is Michael Thomas. Dud of the week.
You know, it's funny, man. I think because Michael Thomas, like as bad as we want to make Michael Thomas the dud of the week, I think he's gonna go off and be the stud of the week. But go ahead.
All right, so that's his dud of the week. So we'll do our duds of the week, then we'll go to the studs. All right. So who do you have for your stud of the week?
Wait, are you talking about the dud or stud?
Your dud of the week.
Okay. My the guy that I feel like is gonna be just god awful today, and I just have no faith in whatsoever. I am going with, and this is gonna be sad, boo-hoo. I'm going with Justin Herbert today.
Wow. So how many fantasy points you expect them to have?
10
Wow.
or
Okay.
less. Buffalo shuts that down. They're gonna put him back to rookie status. I mean, right now everyone's so high and hopeful on him. They're gonna tear him up. They're gonna eat him up. Buffalo's pretty solid defensively. I think Justin Herbert's gonna look terrible. And I got one more um dud of the week. And I hate to say this, but and people might get shocked when I say this. I think the dud of the week is gonna be Teddy Bridgewater.
Wow.
I think Teddy's gonna struggle a little bit today versus Minnesota.
Okay, my dud of the week. My dud of the week is going to Allen Robinson, man. You got Mitchell Trubisky as your quarterback. The Packers
Good point.
Packers defense, they ain't no scrubs. They're a decent defense, and I think they're gonna put a number on Mitchell Trubisky, man. So that's my dud of the week. All right, let's go to the stud of the week, man. Stud of the week. Stud of the week. We are gonna announce this True X's stud of the week. His stud of the week is Alvin Kamara as the stud of the week.
That's a no-brainer, man. I mean, come on, man. Um, but I'm gonna go. I got two. I think Tom Brady's gonna be one, and I think Tom Brady's gonna get off the snide. I think he's gonna have a monster game this week versus Kansas City. And then my final stud of the week, and again, this may shock some people, but my stud of the week um, is going to be, and I hate to say that, Danny Dimes. I
Wow.
think Danny Dimes is going to throw nothing but the dimes. He is going to light up Cincinnati for 350 and 4 TDs. Go, let's go.
All right, man. So my stud of the week from one young quarterback to another young quarterback, I'm rolling with for the first time Josh Allen as my stud of the week.
I like
Uh,
it.
I like the weapons around Josh Allen, man. Stephon Diggs has been huge. He's been playing as one of the top receivers in the game. You got Brown there. You got Cole Beasley. I expect Josh Allen to put up some huge numbers today. So that's my stud of the week. All right, man. So that actually wraps up today's show. And let's go to our shout outs.
Hey, man, shout out to all you fantasy football owners out there. I hope and pray you guys take some of our analysis to heart. In addition to that, it's almost playoff season. Those of you, that know me very well, I am Mr. Playoffs. If I get in the playoffs, I'm that guy. It's just any discussion. So I do want to shout out our first responders out there. I want to shout out our military. I want to shout out the whole MBS crew. Again, yesterday we did an interview with Miranda Maverick, and we got a lot more heat coming your way in the works. Like, comment, share our shows as well as all of our MBS Central content. Enjoy your Sunday, and then most importantly, since Keel's repping hats, go Saints.
All right. Yo, shout out to Jay Franchise. Last minute notice for him to come on, man. Jay Franchise, he's been busy, man. He just did the huge interview with Miranda Maverick yesterday. Now he's back on the Stardom Sitem show. Shout out to True. He'll be back next week. I don't know. Maybe he's afraid that he might get knocked out of the NBS playoffs or
Hey
might not
man,
make it at
listen, True.
all.
Listen, True. Listen, True. I just invaded your show. I came to invade your show. That tells me something, man. Your ratings about to go up, man. Why? Because it's a franchise, man. Hey, man, true. We waiting on you, man. We waiting on you. I'm here to bless you, man. I'm blessing shows right now. I'm blessing shows, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the whole MBS team. Hopefully everybody had a great, safe Thanksgiving, Black Friday. We are in football season, playoffs. People are cramming to get into playoffs in fantasy football. But man, hopefully we help you guys out, man. Like True said, man, if we help you out, like Drake said, man, thank us later. With that being said, this is MBS Stardom Syndrome Show. I am Keo. This is Jay
Oh,
France.
real quick. Hey, shout out to my Lackey Chargers, man. Shout out to my Lackey Chargers. Hey, man, basketball season's coming shortly. Hey, we trying to run the smack. We ain't talking smack. We running the smack. Let's go.
All right. With that being said, I am Keo. This is Jay Franchise, and